Up next, HB 359, search warrants for computers, computer systems, and electronic devices by Representative Anderson. Sir, welcome. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, members of the committee, for taking the time to hear HB 359. Members, digital encryption is getting more and more sophisticated with multiple layers of encryption and password protection on simple devices like cell phones and tablets. These common devices also have a significant increase in storage capacity, where just a couple years ago, a few hundred megabytes or a gigabyte or two was considered a lot of storage. Today, many of these devices have several terabytes of data. In cases involving child sexual abuse material, that can mean tens of thousands of images, videos, and encrypted messages, sometimes on a dozen or more devices in a single case. Imaging, indexing, and analyzing this volume of material often takes several months, and that doesn't even include the time it could take to crack a 6-digit password on an iPhone or an iPad. HB 359 modernizes our statutes to more accurately reflect the digital age of the 21st century by extending the deadline for forensic examinations of seized electronic devices from 45 days to 365 days. And this is particularly important in some of the most heinous cases involving murders, rapes, and child exploitation. Mr. Chair, that is the bill.
All right, thank you, sir. Are there any questions on the bill? All right, Representative Skidmore, ma'am, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Representative. Is this bill specific to child pornography, or are there a multitude of felonies that it could apply to?
Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Representative, for that question. It's a great question. The bill is not specific to any particular type of evidence. It's specific to the device itself.
Representative Cross, ma'am, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Rep. Anderson, do you see that this could have a negative unintended consequence of creating a backlog in our judicial system?
Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Rep. Cross. Actually, I think that this solves that problem with the current backlog that our law enforcement community is facing right now. I mean, it can take many months to crack one of these devices. It could take many months after that to archive and complete an investigation. There could be tens of thousands of images on just a single phone. And sometimes in these cases, unfortunately, our law enforcement community is finding a dozen or more devices in a single case. So this actually helps to solve that problem that you brought up.
All right, thank you, Rep. Steele, sir. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for bringing this great bill forward. Does it help streamline the process for the officer to get control over the device for probable cause?
Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks, Rep. Steele, for that question. It doesn't change anything related to probable cause, no.
All right, any follow-up, any further questions? Seeing none, are there any amendments on the bill, ma'am? None. Seeing none, is there any public testimony on the bill? All right. Allie McNair, Florida Sheriff's Association, waves in support. Thank you, ma'am. Molly Hudson, Volusia Sheriff's Office, waves in support. Jack Campbell, State Attorney, Florida Prosecutors Attorneys Association, is a proponent. Sir, would you like to speak? Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome across the street.
Thank you.
You are recognized.
Appreciate you the opportunity. I think it's been well described on its notes. To be clear, in the cases that we're working now, digital evidence is by far where DNA was something was moving things forward 20 years ago. Now the cell phone is where we're solving it. It's been well described. It doesn't change the probable cause, but what we're dealing right now is that every 10 days, every 30 days, 21 days, we're going back with the exact same probable cause and asking the exact same judge, we still haven't broken open the iPhone, can we please do it again? And so it just recognizes in a single case, as has already been brought, when you're talking about child pornography, we find terabytes and terabytes, but it's just as true on a murder case where we'll find and we'll be able to track the digital evidence on multiple co-defendants talking about during text messages on how they're going to do the robbery and where they are and trying to get the digital evidence of where that cell phone moved during the crime. All of that is integral to everything from a homicide to a child's exploitation case. And this is going to both save the times of your chief investigator or your investigators are doing it, your assistant state attorneys who are reviewing those probable causes, and ultimately the bench that has to sit there and make the exact same ruling and refresh it over and over again. Now we can do it each year instead of doing it every 20, 30 days. So, and I have any questions. I did want to mention I'm here in my official capacity as the Second Circuit State Attorney, but this I also indicated on the FPAA. I've spoken to their executive board. We voted for the identical idea last year. We haven't had a chance to vote on it this year, but on behalf of the executive board, my expectation is that it will pass and have all 20 state attorneys in support of it. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. State Attorney Bruce Bartlett, Sixth Circuit State Attorney's Office. Sir, you are recognized. And thank you for coming all this way.
I'm Bruce Bartlett. I'm the state attorney for the Sixth Circuit, which comprises Pinellas and Pasco counties. And I've been a prosecutor now for a long time. Started in '79, so look at in the '40s. I just want to, I don't want to repeat anything Jack said, but I concur with everything. I want to just make you aware of what the process is. And the reason for the delay in these phones is that information that is contained in those phones have to be extracted. And you have basically two different type devices that are capable of doing the extraction. Cellbrite and what they call gray key. And depending on how efficient they can be in cracking into these devices, so the first step that has to be made is to unlock the device. iPhones are one of the hardest to unlock. Androids now have 3 tiers of encryption. So the machine does that, but as the machine is doing that, and you can only do one phone at a time. So for example, the sheriff's office caseload and percentage-wise has increased 25% a year for the last several years in Pinellas County. We have probably one of the more sophisticated units. So they have 5 examiners. So as this information is attempting to be extracted, they have to make changes in those machine settings to try to circumvent. Apple usually will only let you try one password every 10 minutes. So the clock's ticking, keep going. So that's, you break into the device, then you have to download from the device, and you also have encryption that holds you from doing that. So, and just to get to the bottom line, I guess, you get the idea. The actual extraction process and then the removal and then transferring it to another device that they can save to project the images can take anywhere from 3 or 4 months to a year. And one of the estimates that I was told by the individual who runs that unit down there, he's seen some of the iPhones go for in excess of 10 years beyond time. So it's very time consuming, and that's where the time problem arises. And that's what we're requesting. And this is all digital evidence, not just child abuse stuff. It is includes things like black boxes in cars where you have DUI manslaughter cases, and they extract the information to determine how fast the car was doing when the braking took place and things of that nature. You have to have, in most of all those cases, you have to bring specialists in from the automobile manufacturer of the car with the black box to extract it, but it takes a very long time to get those statistics. And we're so sophisticated now with everything we got is electronic. You got refrigerators that keep records of who goes in the refrigerator, people's photographs, you got blink cameras, you got ring cameras, you got all those kind of surveillance things. So it's to search the digital evidence, and we get a wealth of knowledge of things like that happen. So it's very, very beneficial evidence. And when I first started, it's not things just like it used to be where you'd go in and get a couple of kilos of cocaine in somebody's house. You'd walk out of the house with the cocaine as law enforcement, and you've seized your item. Now the problem is with digital stuff is so sophisticated, you have to go in and search, and it takes a lot of technology to do that. By the way, those Cellbrite and those gray key machines run anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000 a piece. The sheriff's office in Pinellas County pays $600,000 a year for licensing and for maintenance fees. So total. So that's how much money they're pouring into it. They're trying to get a hold of this stuff, but it's helping a lot, and it's helping to get the kids that need to be helped with what's going on with their lives, and it's being published all around. And we just ask that you help us continue in our attack to go ahead and try to eliminate these people that are doing this stuff, because it's ridiculous. We did, just in my office alone, we did 510 or 9 warrants for digital device last year. Well, actually, that was up till October this year. So, Mr. Chair, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for coming.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Great honor. Are there any members wishing to debate on the bill? All right, seeing none, Rep. Anderson, you recognize to close on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, simply put, the clock should not be a criminal's best friend. It's an outdated technicality that protects some of the worst sexual predators, child rapists, and murderers. With your yes vote today, we take the next step to ending that. And with that, I ask for your favorable support.
All right, Rep. Anderson, having closed on his bill, Julia, please call the roll on HB 359 and announce the vote.
Representatives Baker, Bankson,
Yes.
Bartleman, Brackett has been excused. Fabricio has been excused. Gottlieb,
Yes.
Greco has been excused. Rowe,
Yes.
Hart has been excused. Partington,
Yes.
Lakin,
Yes.
Skidmore,
Yes.
Steele,
Yes.
Yarkowski,
Yes.
ex officio Cross,
Yes.
Ranking Member Lopez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Barnaby,
Yes.
Chair Alvarez.
Yes, ma'am.
13 yeas, 0 nays, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Show HB 359 reported favorably, sir. Congratulations. Great job.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.